Welcome to Table Talk. With March being Extension Month, today is filled with information as you begin looking to spring for farming and gardening resources. My first guest is Warren County Extension Agent Heath Nokes. Welcome to the show, Heath.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
I think this
Proud
is,
to be here.
First time getting to talk to you.
Yeah.
I know you're a man with a lot of information, so we'll get started.
I don't know about that.
Tell us about your role at the Warren County Extension Office.
Well, I am the agricultural extension agent, and many of your viewers will remember the show Green Acres. And if you remember that, there was a gentleman named Hank Kimball, was a county agent. I'm the Hank Kimball of Warren County. Everybody always gets a kick out of that.
Yeah.
But no, I'm here. What we do is we provide farmers and nurserymen and homeowners and the general public solid research-based information regarding all things agricultural, lawns, gardens, the whole gamut. So.
Yeah, that's a big subject matter.
It is a big subject,
yes. A lot to talk
yes.
about with that.
We don't have every answer, but we can find you something.
Well, your resources are very good. You go connected with UT and
Yes,
then TSU as well. So lots of research goes into the information.
We are very, very fortunate, very proud to have our partnership with the TSU Nursery Research Facility. That is a remarkable place that, I mean, they're researching and making new discoveries every day that helps the commercial nursery industry. So it's just such a wonderful, wonderful place, and in turn they help us a lot on our end too.
Yeah.
So we're so grateful to have them.
It's impressive to have them located in Warren County over by the hospital. Beautiful building, but then to think of all the minds that sit in there and do all this research.
It is amazing.
Right here.
I mean, they're a virtual, hospital for
plants
and trees. Yeah, I mean, they've got, if you've got a disease, they've got plant doctors in there that can, just tell you exactly. They got entomologists that study bugs. Just a tremendous, tremendous resource for the commercial nursery.
Yeah, it's such a big part of our industry here, so very important to us.
Very important part. And I think at the last Census of Ag, of course, we're ranked #1 in the state in the sales of horticulture goods, trees, shrubs, things like that. But what I think a lot of people forget a lot of times is how much other agriculture there is here. I think we're 17th in the state with regard to beef cattle, and we're in the top 20 in row crop production, corn, soybeans, and wheat. So, nursery is huge here, but
still lots
there's
of
a lot of commodities grown and sold here too. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful place to be. If you're like me and like all that kind of stuff.
Yes, well, it's part of our life, regardless of whether we all have to have it. We love to eat.
That's right.
And we want it to be a healthy part of, a healthy economy and things like that. So we're all invested in it, regardless of how if we are active or not.
I think that we get so used to seeing it. But agriculture is, the state's #1 economy. I mean, it's a $3 billion a year industry in Tennessee, and I think that tends to get overlooked, when we talk about, other portions of our economy, the industry and all that. But agriculture, it still rocks and rolls, it's a huge, huge component of our state's economy.
I've noticed too the technology that agriculture is embracing is amazing, just from planting and things like that. And
yes,
GPS
it is just yes, it never ceases to amaze me, you know, how they can punch a button and start planting or harvesting or whatever, and you know, just everything.
Their rows
Just
are perfect,
and you
yes.
know, they just sit back there, you know, don't have to touch a steering wheel in
Yeah.
many cases.
And that's not just for
And-
looks. That helps with their production, doesn't
It
it?
does, and what they're doing more and more of our row crop guys are utilizing this technology is precision fertilization, where what it does, those satellites puts the field on a grid, and you sample, take soil samples, and when you apply fertilizer, if this area needs a little more, it gets it. If this area needs a little less, it gets it as well, or it gets less.
Yeah.
And that's just a tremendous savings cost as you know, agricultural inputs, fertilized chemicals, things like that, have just really been
Yeah, we had to
the
do
results
that.
of inflation. Just it's
Right.
really wreaked havoc.
And that
on the
helps,
input cost.
right? You're not fertilizing an area that doesn't need it.
Right.
You might can get by a few more years with
More
that,
years,
and then throw it to a different area of your farm that may need
Yes.
it a little more.
And on the nursery end of it, Dr. Fulcher at Knoxville, she worked with several guys, and a lot of them's down here. Many of our nursery growers down here have used the sprayer and have seen it and had experience with it, but it's what they call an intelligent sprayer. When they go down a row of trees, you know, it has sensors on it, and it just shuts it off, you know, like if there's a gap
Okay,
there.
so that
it's,
eliminates
you know,
waste.
it is just, the technology is amazing.
That's
now.
great to
It's-
see agriculture moving along with everything else as far as technology goes. So I guess your office is busier than ever with spring. What are the some of the things that is keeping you busy right now?
Well, we call them our winter meetings, and we are right in the middle of our Master Gardener intern class. And if you've ever been to the Warren County A&L Fair, you are very aware of the Master Gardeners in Warren County and what they do to landscape that and their other projects. But before they get to that point, every member goes through 10 sessions of education. So we're right in the middle of that. Saturday, the Highland Rim Beekeepers just had their beginning Beekeepers Day. There's like 30 people at that, and they studied bees from 8 o'clock in the morning until 3 or 4 that afternoon, and it's just a fascinating day. I mean, if
Yeah.
you've never studied bees and what important role they play
Yes, that is very
in our lives,
fascinating.
you know, whether
Yes.
you know, no matter where you live, you know, we need bees to survive. And then in a couple of weeks, we got our Master Beef class beginning for our beef producers.
So talking
It's
about
busy.
busy right now, talking about cattle, lots of things I guess to think about as far as most people I know have some cattle and things like that. They're coming off of probably hay in the winter and going into the spring grasses. What are some of the
Right.
things we need to think about?
Well, that is a wonderful time of the year when you stop feeding hay. But most of our pastures around here are fescue based, and we're fortunate we grow grass real good here. But we have a big flush in the spring when the soil temperature gets above 50 degrees. You know, our pastures and fescue, that'll get to rocking, and then you can, so let them graze, so to speak.
Right.
But then after that,
I know,
know.
too, you have to be aware of, I guess, since the grass is very wet at that time, have to make sure they get enough magnesium, is that right?
Yes. There's a condition called grass tetany, which it's terrible. It's just a metabolic disease, and basically it just starves them of magnesium. So to thwart that, everybody switches to they call it MAGOX, magnesium oxide, mineral in the spring of the year, and that takes care of it.
Is that like distributed like in a salt block, or how does that work? How
No,
do you
it
give
mostly
them that?
comes in a bag. It's free choice.
Okay, okay. So you
Yeah.
just kind of, and they, I don't graze on that, the
No,
right
yeah.
munch on it.
They like, they're kind of like us. Their bodies tells them when they crave something, and they'll go to it. But
then that helps with the
that
lack of
helps with-
magnesium. Okay,
Yep.
good to know that, because
and
I
then
was
there's
not aware.
we'd have to get a vet in here to talk about all the other things that the importance of a good mineral program. It's just so important. With reproduction and all that stuff.
So it
'Cause
goes a lot
at the end of the
further
day,
than-
if you don't have a live calf on the ground to sell, yeah.
All they
Why
do
did
is
you have the
eat.
cow all year?
Right.
We all
right.
love our cows and all that, but I mean, let's face it, it is what it is.
Yeah. Got to make sure they're well taken care of. And it doesn't sound like that's a fun thing to have to go through for the cow. I mean, most of the time it's
not.
life, ending, I guess, when they end up with that. The tetany, is that what you call
Grass
it?
tetany,
Grass tetany, okay. Also, I guess, do y'all do consultations with farmers, I guess, as far as they're getting ready to put crops out, pesticides and things like that, what they're going to use? Do you all work with them on that?
We do. Fortunately, most of that, the university has a wonderful row crops team out of Jackson, and in Warren County, we encourage our farmers to go to the Middle Tennessee Grain Conference, and it's a day long, has different sessions, vendors. It's a wonderful event held each year at the UT Space Institute in Tullahoma. So most of what they get comes from that day. If they're unable to make it, everything is on the website now. UT Crops, they have other research information there. Plus, they keep a blog. If you should be looking out for something on the horizon, there it is.
Right. And I guess right now is also recertification time as far as dicamba goes. Is that right?
Yes, there is a dicamba formulation. Unfortunately, we do have several herbicide or Roundup resistant weeds in the county, Palmer pigweed, mare's tail, So there is a formulation of dicamba that the farmers have to go through a class and be certified on the safety and all that stuff to do it. And we've got those classes coming up tonight, actually, tonight, and got one tomorrow afternoon.
Okay,
so.
and I'm sure there's lots of resources on that on the website too, as far as...
Yes, UT Crops for all things crop production. And one wonderful thing that at least the agriculture side of Extension has done is they have done a tremendous job of kind of streamlining their website. So, if you've got lawn and garden questions, nursery, find all the nursery research, go to UT Hort, H-O-R-T, UT Horticulture, UT Beef for all things beef cattle, and UT Crops for all the row crop stuff.
Okay.
It's just, and
So if
it's
you
kind of
can't
like,
make
as
a
we call
class-
it, the whole world, the whole world begins at one of those websites.
Yeah.
And another good thing for people to keep in mind, if you've, all of our UT publications are online now, so you can just Google UT Extension Publications and type in whatever you want to know about, pear trees, apple trees, whatever, and it'll bring up those publications, and you can download them, print them off.
Okay.
Whatever, because I'm sure that most everybody has fond memories of the days, when the extension office had, file holders across, three
all
of
the
the four
pamphlets.
walls with pamphlets, and if you opened the door, the wind would come in and scatter them and all that. But
You don't have to do that anymore.
Don't have to do that anymore. Just go to our website and check it out. And here locally, I know Miss Tina, our wonderful administrative assistant, she does a fantastic job keeping up with current events and putting those on our UTTSU Facebook page.
Okay, yes.
And if you've never been by the Extension office, March is Extension Month. Come on.
Good
We'd be
time
happy to
go.
see you.
Yeah, lots going on there right now.
Lots going on there
thinking
right now.
about the garden time and agriculture.
That's right.
We're seeing some sunshine come in this week, I know
That's
for
right.
sure. So
That's
it
right.
gets that on the mind. Well, thank you so much, Heath.
All righty. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And stay with us because we'll be back with Ms. Hilda Lytle from the Warren County UTTSU Extension Office with more details about Extension Month.